Whoops. Hello everyone, welcome to the mystery draw, and it is time for our second mystery draw of the season, round 9 of the championship. We have got Hungary, we have got Silverstone, and we have got Austria, Mr. Rage. Good stuff. Yes, we're all in very early. Goodness gracious me, that I've actually been caught unawares for us as I was snacking on a sausage roll. So three tracks, and of course the one that's picked will be eliminated, and the first one that's been eliminated is Hungary. So Hungary is the first one that's been eliminated here in Budapest, and so we ain't gonna have a rerun from last night, which I quite like personally, so I'm kind of glad about that. But next up then, is it going to be Silverstone, or is it going to be Austria then? Well, Great Britain or Austria then? Spielberg, the A1 ring, the Red Bull ring, or Silverstone? And who is it going to be? Who is it going to be? What is it going to be? It is going not to be Austria, so that means it is going to be Silverstone then, and that is going to be round 9, the home of motorsport then. 26 laps around here. This is going to be a fantastic Grand Prix. I have no doubt about that. Of course, it's going to be, it's a tricky old circuit. This one is not many safety cars in Silverstone, so it's going to be all about strategy and drivers very much going on the seat of their underpants. And oh, I love it. But yes, and as you can see, that the wheel has been done. We are going to go for our advert today. We'll be back after these messages. Welcome back, everyone. I'm sad because Indigo was saying, "Hi, Mr. Rage, I miss you." I thought that I thought Indigo was talking to me, but sadly he was talking to Mr. Rage, so I'm a bit upset by that. But it's good to see Mr. Rage doing one. It's good to see that Indigo also wants a pink hoodie, which is cool stuff indeed. Then I got a pink hoodie to be honest. It's not a hot pink one, so it's like more the salmon pink kind of one. It is, and we are about to get going for the British Grand Prix. Of course, been on the calendar since 1950. Goodness gracious me, I can just about remember that. Golly gosh, fantastic indeed. Then when it was simpler times, then there was hay bales rather than barriers, wasn't it? Good luck, Silver says Knowles as well. Whilst we're counting down, let's take a look at the drivers and the constructors standings. Shall we? And it is too good to miss. It's Kian leads the way, 4 points, and there's a lot of chatter about the technical gremlins that Kian had last week there. And of course, I think there were some nervous faces, or I seen a nervous comment earlier on then. But Kian leads the championship nonetheless, 4 points in front of Nameless in second position. Delando is gone from first to third, then 10 points away at the moment. Then Jay Hinks is in fourth position, then Flippy is in fifth. Sixth position is Kiki. Seventh is R2 Beat with the Duke in eighth position. Ninth is Bessier, and 10th is Camera Racer. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull leads the way, 37 points. It's been a great team effort so far for Red Bull then. And then we've got Aston Martin there second, 37 points adrift so far. Alpine are in third on 110. 79 points for the McLaren team. Then we have Williams on 47 points, 43 for Kicksauber, 32 for Mercedes, 29 for Ferrari, 12 for Haas, and RB on 5. Unfortunately, but the same story in the in bronze as well. But however, to be fair to bronze, one of their two drivers in RB is not exactly very good, and I'm not talking about Slayer either. Unfortunately, as we are ready to get going then for the start of the British Grand Prix here tonight, and I've got a big old spot on the side of my neck, and it's really annoying me to be honest. So that's what I'm going to be rubbing on all night. Well, it's better than rubbing on anything else then. But as a lad had showed me when I was younger, a good rub is never a bad thing. And as the drivers are coming out on the circuit now, it's the longest pit lane I think in terms of time. It's not the longest in terms of distance around here though, because I think that is Brazil, isn't it? If you from the beginning of the pit entrance to the exit of the pit lane, that is, I think that is technically the longest in terms of distance, I believe, as the drivers now go around the circuit. Jay Hings out on circuit. Nigel back after not feeling well last week. Of course, Nigel has got basically he's forever cemented in the history of ALR with the first ever World Championship and also the Silver Championship under his belt as well. But sadly, that's young to go now for Nigel. Don't want to say that he's an old relic. He certainly isn't an old relic as the McLaren driver, but Success has been a bit few and far between for Nigel this season. Well, not this season, over the last couple of years. And same for Farf as well. As Farf is happy to is Silverstone. But of course, Farf, very much like Nigel, then of course, his peak years are behind those two. I'm not going to say anything more than that, to be honest, because, yeah, let's be honest about it. I'm usually wrong about that. And of course, I'm doing anything can happen in Grand Prix racing, and it usually does. And it's just a dip in performance potentially as you come down the hanger straight, and of course qualifying in all forms of in all the championships now is just 18 minutes long. Then you can have as many laps as you like. However, you are of course limited by tyre strategy then. Hi, says Farf. I love Silverstone. Indigo then, Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Is that what the links? Is that what the lyrics is? I knew about Kiki, do you love me, but I'm not sure. I didn't know what the second part of it was then. But sadly, I'm not very trendy these days. I must say, Backstreet Boys are sadly not in fashion these days. They probably weren't in fashion back in the late 90s. Either on board with Nigel in the McLaren, and so he's going to be the first driver then to get a time on the board. Of course, if he doesn't invalidate. Penalties shouldn't be too problematic around here, but of course you still got to be on your wits end. I don't think it's going to be as problematic as the kick Sauer goes well off the circuit there. Not going to be as problematic as it was in Canada a week ago then. Rain in the race maybe, says Gordo, and of course happy, I think it's Bagpipe Day as well, so happy Bagpipe Day to Gordo as well. And so that's fantastic stuff indeed. Well, that's what my laptop told me as I was trying to get it loaded up. So happy Bagpipe Day there for Gordo. Are my peak years gone, or is that why I'm a commentator, says Indigo? Haha. To be honest, Indigo, I've never had any peak years, sadly for me. My peak years, I think my peak years was when I was 4 or 5 years old, to be honest. Maybe my peak years was actually on the original F1 game of '95, where I always selected David Coulthard in that Williams. Goodness gracious. Fantastic. So we're just coming to the final couple of corners now then for Nigel. Accelerates away back end there, trying to overtake the front for Nigel, but nevertheless he gets around, does a top on the board at 27.9. There is this is one of the longest circuits on the calendar. We got 26 laps tonight as opposed to 53, as opposed to there's a Haas there. Well out of shape. I don't know who that was in the background now. Jay Hings has gone fastest there. But yeah, 26 laps compared to the 35 we had last night. And of course, rain is in the air then, as we've just heard from Gordo as well. Good stuff indeed then. I know how it feels to commentate for two divisions. It's hard work, man, having to remember everything. To be honest, it's hard work to remember what I had for lunch, to be fair. I can't remember what happened last night. Luckily, because it's the Mystery Grand Prix tonight, I don't have to worry about last night, luckily. Riley is second fastest at the moment. I didn't know that. Ashamed of myself, Ben. Bagpipes do my head in at times, to be fair, says Gordo. To be honest, I didn't even know there was a bagpipe day, to be fair then, but it seems like there's a day for everything these days, as Delando, of course, for in the World Championship, currently fast at the moment. R2B has gone 7th fastest. Nameless is the slowest time runner so far, but I do not expect that to be the case at the end of this race then, or the end of qualifying then, with 12 minutes to go in this session. Here comes the Duke coming out to Stowe Corner now then. Of course, the first where we're at, Stowe Corner, is sadly a bad one, when Michael Schumacher broke his leg in the 99 at British Grand Prix, sadly. Of course, that Mika Salo took over, and I think Ferrari won the Constructors' Icon as well. Duke goes second fastest then. X-Gamer, of course, reserved tonight. Great to see him back in action. Of course, X-Gamer does have a lot of success around here in silver. Of course, multiple Grand Prix winners as well, who is just flicking through probably the best series of corners on the Formula 1 calendar, potentially, as we come down the back straight. We're over half distance on this championship. Of course, only 16 races then. We've gone back to the past, then back to the future, back to the past, something like that. So we've got less Grand Prix this season. We've actually got 8 less. That is a mammoth number. That's as we've mentioned, we're already halfway through. So we've basically actually taken a third of the season away for this season. So it's all about really getting in there like swimwear right at the very beginning. And a lovely helmet designed from X-Gamer. Also, I think it's a new season pass as well. As Kaidal has had issues coming into the pit lane now. Of course, I don't know if Kaidal then got a bit mixed up with the old version of Silverstone, which is my personal favourite. I don't mind this new one, but I prefer the new one myself. But I don't think this track suits MotoGP. MotoGP races here, says Indigo. They do indeed, don't they? Are they going back to Donington, though? Or is that what I read somewhere, or have I just made that up, potentially? Of course, F1 was meant to go to Donington in 2010, I think it was, before that fell through. Here's Marski, who is on an in-lap at the moment. There 13 cars are set a time so far. We've still got another 7 to go in this qualifying session. Hello, Chaza. Good evening to you, my good sir. Yeah, I think that Donington was meant to host the British Grand Prix back in 2007. They didn't get the funds together, did they? Or something along those lines. R2 beat in 11th position at the moment there. I remember when Felipe Massa spun in the pit lane, but saved it. Yes, Indigo says absolutely. Was that 2010 there? Was it something like that? And Felipe Massa then, of course... and of course, I think he did it in 2008 as well, didn't he? Because I think Massa had a horror show of a day in 2008 there where it's rained. I think he spun 5 6 times then. And then he also spun a couple of years later as well coming into the pit lane. But of course, he came into the pit lane with beautiful finesse there. I got to say, he looked pretty impressive indeed there. Nameless does go 5th fastest. We are watching teammate R2 beat, though. Of course, the winner from the opening race of this season, way back a couple of months ago now. R2 beat then into the final few corners now and taking a lot of curb on the outside there. That might have unsettled the Aston Martin ever so slightly. A couple of bites of the cherry, but through across the line and goes 11th fastest there and displaces Nigel. So up one position there. A lot of effort there for R2 beat there to go 11th fastest there. Of course, Gordo in his home Grand Prix tonight as well. A lot of it's the home Grand Prix for a lot of teams and drivers tonight then. Gordo across the line there to have another bite of the cherry as well. And this is third full flap now on these tyres. Good stuff indeed then. I know this is still tonight, but I'm interested to know if I'm close to any milestones of 100 races in ALR, says Chaza, as we got Indigo in Turkey. I don't think Indigo is in Turkey. What I can't remember what I was saying now, to be honest. What was I saying? Something about something or other. Goodness me. Oh gosh, I got a bad memory. I'm like, to be fair, as I said, though, if you asked for what I had for lunch, I would not be able to tell you. I think I had some disgusting apples actually. I'm trying to lose a bit of timber, but it's not going very well because I love food too much. I'm trying this these chicken stuff, which apparently is all good and protein and stuff. But sadly, I'm not actually burning any protein. I'm just eating it, and then of course keeping it on my layers, and so I don't get pneumonia or anything like that. Gordon coming into the past series of Ben's now. I'll have a look at Chaz's overall races in just a jiffy. Then I think that I haven't got the all-time races list up to date in terms of from this season, but I do have from last season somewhere. Bottas spun 6 times in 2020 in Turkey. Vessier, oh my goodness me, what's happened there? Vessier's had an issue and he's crashed with, is that with Favre? I'm not sure if he's crashed with Favre, and then Favre is off the circle as well. Good heavens above, there's been issues with the Williams team back in Japan. Have we got more issues for the Williams team? Oh dear, oh dear. That is not ideal at all, is it? And I'm wondering, Favre, who's just come off fresh from a bath, I'm sure that he would be fuming with that. Luckily, luckily that bath might have calmed him down a bit. But then again, damage then to Favre. Vesser's got a 5-place grip penalty then, whilst Favre has got damage and will be into the pits. And that Haas car, I'm not sure if, I think that is Kaidal having issues again coming into the pit lane. That's twice now we've seen Kaidal having issues. Half distance in this qualifying session. Kiki then, of course, one of the quickest drivers in this championship then, but that is not ideal. Running wide then into Stowe. The car got a bit too... The car got a bit too lazy, I think. Then there's Vessier understeering there, going into Brooks, and not ideal then. They are both on outlap, says Indigo, so that's not good at all, is it? How would you crash on outlaps? That's not good, is it? For the Williams team, Favre will be fuming, and Vessier now on a quick lap in the Williams. Yeah, Bottas did not have a good Turkish Grand Prix in 2020, of course, the day where Hamilton became a 7-time world champion to equal Michael Schumacher's championship collection as well. I must say, when I've seen Schumacher win his 7th in 2004, yes, I am ancient, I didn't think anyone would get anywhere close to that. But then of course, then when like Vettel was on a run, I did think that Vettel was going to get. I thought that Vettel was going to break it, to be honest. When he was on the run of four championship wins in a row, then of course before those new rules came in, which ended Red Bull's domination in the early 2010s. And then I did think that Lewis Hamilton, the Duke, has gone fastest, and 3/10 of second improvement. What about Vesio now coming across the line? 10 fastest for the Williams driver. 27.5 so far. Nigel on circuit as well. He is down in the second sector. There's a Ferrari touring back into the garage. We got the championship leader, Kian, coming out of Cops, and it used to be turn one, not anymore, unfortunately. I love Vettel, says Indigo. At the time, I wasn't the biggest fan of Vettel when he was driving the Red Bull, I must admit, but probably because I was getting annoyed at the finger, and I don't mean that in a dirty way, ladies and gentlemen. Goodness gracious me. Yes, of course, unless, of course, you mean chocolate fingers. I do love a bit of chocolate finger. It's Farf to try for the session. I reckon that's too much damage then. It'd be interesting to hear what Vessier and Farf make of that then. I've not got me not got me Discord or anything switched on at the moment. The final turn then for Kian across the line. Only 8 fastest there for the championship leader. I must say that I thought Kian was probably one of the earliest, Mr. Raging Bull, doing a great job in 6th position whilst I've been waffling away. As Nameless goes second fast on the front row with Duke. Then Duke said that championship-wise, possibly a bit off his out of his reach then for last week then for Duke. But I gotta say, he's a very quick peddler indeed. Then this certainly is a bit of homework for next season. But I do think that Duke might sneak into this championship fight then, of course. No one has really grabbed the 8 ball so far, which is really good for us. This is not good for the drivers out there. Interesting to see then. There's Marsky, Kaidal then out on circuit. Kaidal having issues again there. There's something wrong with this Haas car. As every time we've seen Kaidal on screen, he seems to have been off the circuit there and doing a bit of grass cutting there. Farf is absolutely living there. I'll be interested to hear what Farf makes about that. Oh, by the way, it's Newcastle playing tonight, then, which is good stuff indeed. Then, still waiting to see wet Farf. Oh, goodness gracious me. That's what Irvine said, by the way. Good stuff indeed. Then I think that was my Discord I was trying to open up, and that was the first thing I said. Vettel was my favourite driver, says Indigo. I liked Vettel towards the end of his Ferrari career. I did feel sorry for Vettel towards the end of his Ferrari career, but I must say I was I was fed up of him after in his Red Bull days, I must say. And I hate to say it, do I hate to say it? I'm not sure, to be honest. I was actually cheering for, in the final round of 2010, who was I cheering for? I don't think I was cheering for anyone, really, because we had a four-way championship fight as camera racers gone a length fast. We've got 4 minutes to go in this qualifying session. I haven't commentated at all on this qualifying. Shameful behaviour. It's Indigo's fault. I get distracted by Formula 1 talk, don't I? Goodness me. Luckily, it's the right genre, though, so I kind of get bonus points for that. 9100 a second down in the first sector for Marsky. The 2010, I just absolutely loved the fact there was 4 drivers in the fight, wasn't it? But I didn't expect Vettel to win. Goodness gracious me. 2011, for Vettel. But when it was Vettel against Alonso in 2012, I did want Alonso to win, personally, because it was someone different. But there we go. My best quality time in Silverstone is a 25.7. I think my best quality time in Silverstone is about a 30, but that's on the old configuration of the circuit. And that's probably on the 2004 F1. So that's still quite slow in the old F2004 Ferrari. Marsky is not improving on this lap, but I think he's he's overdriving the car potentially. Newcastle. Sorry, Vintage, says Chaz. And then I think that Chaz, of course, a Middlesbrough fan, I believe. Which I don't think where are Middlesbrough in the championship at the moment? I don't really, I haven't really seen much of Middlesbrough in the championship. To be fair, I haven't really been following football this year, which is shameful behaviour. I don't know what it is about football at the moment. I just can't get into it. I think I'm just a bit bored of. The races of the football. Sadly, I do miss the flair players like Ronaldinho and players like that. We don't have much of that as Delando overdriving the car coming out of Luffield, sadly. Of course, Luffield used to be 2 corners, now it's just 1. But I don't know what it is. There's no there's no flair players, I don't think, at the moment. So I loved Ronaldinho, I loved, of course, Ronaldo. The Brazilian Ronaldo was absolutely fantastic. Of course, you had Kaká. My word, there. Though that's my era. Of course, Steven Gerrard, obviously the best player of all time. Then, as a Liverpool fan, but there we go. Let's wind my neck in. Keep me updated on the Newcastle score, please, Sean. Then they stupidly decided to put on the same time as Silver. That's disgraceful behaviour by Sky, isn't it? Now, so, yeah, we will be sending an angry note then to Sky Sports. Oh no! And Delando, and who's that? That's Flippy. As unfortunately, Flippy was not looking in his mirrors. Delando is going to be apoplectic with that, if that's a word, because that's his lap ruined, and the next lap as well. He's got enough fuel. Then, oh dear, Flippy has been so impressive since he's jumped in that kick Sauber. However, that's not good at all then for Flippy, and I have a feeling that the stewards Smithy is going to be slapping a major penalty on Flippy for that. Then again, it depends if Smithy Almighty's had a bath or not, because I think Farfus in a very good mood after he had a bath, but maybe not anymore, potentially. Solo mission there. Alonso held up by Petrov in Abu Dhabi. Of course, that was before DRS, wasn't there? I must admit, I thought he was just going to breeze past him, to be honest. I thought that Mark Webber was going to win that championship, which I was, of course, hindsight's a wonderful thing. I would love to have seen Mark Webber win that championship. Of course, he hurt himself in a cycling accident around the final couple of races. And I think, didn't he break a rib or something? Or was that someone else? Or am I making that up? I think I'm making that up, because actually, didn't he have a cycling accident in the before the 2009 season as well? Maybe, and of course, Lance Stroll had the similar issue in 2023. Maybe they shouldn't go cycling anymore. Maybe he should just stay in the gym. I do not know. Middlesbrough's been up and down like a yo-yo this season. 9th in the championship, I think, Chaz is saying. And here comes Jay Hings, who is 9th in the tally at the moment. Oh, goodness me. Oh, my word. Jay Hings there. London Renham McGang there, shaking that rear across the line. That's 4.5 seconds slower. That wasn't even a quick time there for Jay Hings. Concentrate, Sean. Goodness me. What is this? Absolutely shenanigans here today. Right then, 7 seconds to go in this qualifying session there. And now then, as we're coming across the line then, so let's see what happens then. So the checkered flag has fallen as we got Kick Salver, and Flippy is not going to improve. I think that Flippy was, I think that the issues at the end of that lap there really cost him there. As Reflex is in a superb third position there. That's great stuff indeed. Riley has gone up into third in that Alpine car. Great stuff. And X-Gamer, it's an RB12. Good heavens above there. My goodness me. A good-looking car, probably one of the most horrific car team names in F1 history. Duke has gone purple in the second sector. Magnificent stuff indeed. I'm looking for Mercedes. Who am I looking for? I'm looking for Mr. Rage. He's got 8 fastest there. Mr. Rage has there. He stays 8th. Kiki there is coming into Maggots and Beckett's as well. What about Nigel? Invalidated, unfortunately for Nigel, so he's going to stay put then. The Duke out of the final turn. Currently pole center at the moment. Out of the final turn now. Duke extends his pole position there by another couple of tenths of a second. Duke has got a stranglehold on that pole position. Irvine only 18th finish there, but he's fuming about Sky Sports putting Newcastle on. He's 18th at the moment there so far. Then Marsky down the back straight, and I am looking for R2B across the line. R2B only goes 13th fastest there, and I think that Jay Higgs and now so Kiki only second fastest day for Kiki, who's one of the most quickest drivers in a single lap there. Unfortunately, that's not good, but Delando makes it onto the front row of the grid. Could have got pole position without the issues on the first lap. It is the Duke on pole position, and Kaida unfortunately invalidating his time, so it's Duke pole position there. And I don't know how many that is this season because I haven't got my book up yet. 1 second now. That is the Duke's second pole position in the season and the second pole position in a row for Duke. Absolutely superb stuff indeed there. Remember tonight, no practicing because it was a mystery Grand Prix. Well, I say no practice unless you've been practicing all the been practicing all the races. That'd be impressive stuff indeed there. But that is the Duke's second pole position of his career, second pole position of the season as well. This man is on fire at the moment now. I feel that the drivers that fight for the championship have got to keep an eye on this man because he is supreme at the moment, which is a fantastic indeed there for Duke then with his second pole position of his career. Then of course that was in the McLaren last week. Then of course he is now a RB driver full time, and now he is eligible to score, and he is right up in the thick of things then in the championship with a win today. Then he's already got a 1 win. Can he get a second win here tonight? Fantastic. Sorry, I was blowing my nose. The Duke pole position. Look at that, 2/10 of a second. That's unheard of in ALR. Fantastic stuff indeed there. Oh, I've missed a load of comments. 1 second. Delando on. I reckon would Delando got pole position potentially. Nameless in third. It's gonna be feisty. Kiki in fourth with Gamer in fifth position. Great to see Gamer back up there. Riley in sixth. Flippy in seventh. But Flippy didn't get a good time on the board then after issues on the opening lap. Reflections, Jay Hings and Mr. Raging Bull completes the top 10 here tonight then. How did it feel having the big three in the ALR podium interviews yesterday, Sean? Then I got to say, I was very intimidated, and I'm glad that she was in the interview yesterday, Indigo, because I must admit, I was dying for a wee. So I'm kind of glad that you kind of took over that. Oh my gosh, it is raining cats and dogs out there. And wow, far I'm not surprised that there is rain afoot when fast about. But goodness me, slippery when wet. Then I think that was a Bon Jovi album, wasn't it, way back when? Then the big three. Troy left early, says Serious Russia. There you go. Good evening to you, says Serious Russia. Good evening, Serious Russia. Mark Webber did have a cycling accident. I got his book then. I think that these drivers should stop with these bike accidents, shouldn't they? I'm wondering. Do you reckon that cost him? Someone's been practicing. Damn, says Brooksy. As Indigo and Brooksy love each other. That's fantastic stuff. I was practicing Austria yesterday, says Indigo. To be honest, Indigo had a good form around Austria as well, didn't he? So I think that Indigo would rather have had the two races on separate days, to be honest. Some are really fast in sector one, but really slow in others, says a Gamer. To be honest, Gamer, I'm slow in every sector, so I wish I had that problem. We've got I am slow in all three sectors, says RTB. RTB beat me to the punch there. See, I'm really, really slow in sector one, really slow in sector two, I'm really slow in sector three. Sniffle again, Sean. Yes, I am. I might not race tomorrow. We've got Yay Rain, says Gordon. Rain all race. Oh, my goodness me. Did it rain all race, actually, in one race around here? Of course, where Serious Mushroom drove a superb race, didn't he? But of course, he didn't get driving today because that went to Welsh Maldonado, didn't it? Good. Gordo's on wet tyres there. Oh my goodness me. By the way, Serious Mushroom, it's happy bagpipe day then as well, then, of course, which is coming up on my laptop earlier on as well. So, good stuff. But yeah, rain throughout the race and intermediate tyres for everyone apart from Gordo. Interesting strategy there for Gordo. I'm not saying it's wrong, not saying it's right there, but it's a curveball for the Ferrari driver. Let's go for the fridge. Food is always on my mind, isn't it? Duke, pole position 2 of his career. Of course, Duke now a full-time driver then, so he is going to be a major factor in this championship. Delando on the front row, but Delando got really badly held up on his first lap there by Flippy. It'd be interesting to see what the fallout of that is. But then again, with this rain, look at that. You can't even see Cop's Corner. It's absolutely a deluge out there. Nameless in third. Kiki in fourth. I'm surprised Kiki wasn't higher up, to be fair. I wish I could say that. Gamer with his Ollie Behrman helmet there in fifth position there. Riley in sixth in the second Alpine. Alpine once again showing some pace there. Look at that though. The water's already clearing then with 20 F1 cars there being the best way to dry a track. Flippy in seventh position. I don't think he got a good time in the end, and I reckon he was rattled by the end of qualifying there. Of course, after getting in his own driver's way, getting in Delando's way. Eighth position is Reflections. Jay Hinks in ninth. We got Mr. Rage in 10th position. Kian, the championship leader, down 11th position. I was after all that shenanigans went on, I didn't even notice that. Kian is the meat in the Mercedes sandwich there in 12th position. Gordo is in 13th on those wet tyres. I wish that you had a setting where you could actually come in the pits and change tyres there, but sadly you can't at the moment on this game. Hopefully you can in the future. R2B in 14th, almost off there. Marsky in 15th with Nigel in 16th. Kaidal is in 17th. Issue for Kaidal in qualifying. Irvine in 18th position. I'll keep it on the Newcastle score, but however I've lost it now. 2 Williams is 19th and 20th. I don't think that's a good idea. Both drivers to be started next to each other. James Vowles is going to be hiding under his pillow then. So we're all lined up on the grid now, preparing ourselves for the start of the British Grand Prix then. Here we go then. As 5 lights are on then, 5 lights are going to be off then, and the home of British Motorsport will be hosting round 9. It's lights out, and it's go, go, go. And Duke has had a decent start, but I think it's Delando who's going to take the lead into 2, and yes, but of course Duke's got the momentum on the outside. Look at the spray, it's going to be very difficult to see, and Delando takes the lead of the British Grand Prix, and Delando forces him out wide then. Well, I say forces him out wide, he gave him more than the car's whip, and through he goes, and the Duke is repelling, and Nameless has gone up and under, and Nameless is going for the lead. He's going for the lead, then he's right alongside, and there's contact between the two cars. And then down the Wellington straight, and that's a McLaren off and in the wall. Then it's Nigel in the wall majorly, and major damage there. Oh dear, and I'm not sure what happened there. We're just in the end of that. Then Flippy and Reflections are fighting side by side. Kiki's down 2 positions there, and Nigel then unfortunately had major issues then going down the Wellington straight, similar to Kimi Räikkönen in the 2004. But on the other side, Gamer having a bit of a Glasgow kiss there between himself and Delanda. There's drivers off the circuit. What's going on here? It's Vessier off the circuit, and Irvine fighting for position as well. Goodness gracious me, I wonder if they can't see because it is so rain affected out there. Good heavens above there. Oh my goodness gracious me. Duke leads, second position is Nameless, with Delando in third, Gamer in fourth position there, Riley in fifth, Kiki in sixth position there, as Kiki's dropped down 2 positions there. Gordo's at 3 positions on those wet tyres. That inspired decision there for Gordo, and potentially then is Delando fighting with Nameless. These two are fighting for the World Championship as well this season as we're over half distance. Oh, and then Nameless jink in there to the outside part of the circuit. Riley passes Gamer out of the fourth. Gamer's off the circuit. Gamer's where is he? Goodness me! He comes back on the circuit there. He's going. Riley's had to take evasive action. Lap 1 completed. Only lap 1. And Reflections are on the outside there, but it's going to have to yield the position for now. Riley, who is now fighting with Gamer, and no DRS in these conditions mode. Nigel in the pits. Major damage from the McLaren Mercedes driver, sadly for Nigel, the world champion in silver a few seasons ago then, but not ideal. Farp is made his way up to 11th position on the outside of Mr. Rage. Fantastic there from Farf. Farfed after his buff and is flying out there. And here's and Camera Racer on the inside of Marsky, and more fighting down the Wellington straight there. Goodness gracious me. Oh my goodness me. And goes that. That's the 2 red. That's a red border. Williams out. I think that's Kean's connection having issues. Oh my goodness me. Or is that just Kean there just trying to get out of the driver's way there? I am pointing and doing all kinds of things that I should not be doing that there. Of course, I will keep my opinions to myself for the minute. That might not have been Kean's connection there. RTB on the inside, then Vesser is on the outside. Vesser, oh my goodness gracious me, that's how you do it. Hamilton and Verstappen through into 15th position. There goes Vesser. Reflections is past. No, Reflections dropped down a position, and Jay Hinks is up into 8th position. Look at the Duke, he's gone. He is gone then. And then the rest of them behind him is all over each other's gearbox at the moment. Nigel's about 3/4 of a minute behind the rest of the field, and he needs a safety car. And in these conditions there, I would say that a safety car is certainly going to be on everyone's mindset. So what about strategy now then in this rain-affected race? And it's going to be a very interesting dynamic now, isn't it? I think that they'll probably try and go the half distance is lap 13 and the intermediate tyre is going to be good enough. Where's Gordo on those wet tyres? He's in 10th position on there. Gordo be hoping it gets wetter. Surely at the moment, but of course as the cars go round and round, the track will get drier and drier then. But it does depend on the intensity of the rain. And we have heard that the rain is staying here for the whole of the Grand Prix. And that Ferrari of Gordo is trying to fight off Farf. Farf is a big irritation, not only in the cockpit, but out of the cockpit as well, but he's giving Gordo all kinds of irritation now on the inside then. And my goodness me, Farf is going wheel to wheel with Gordo then, going down into Brooklands then. Of course, no DRS, and normally it'd be DRS in the dry leg. Gordo is skated off there, and now he's got to defend for the Mercedes. Lovely shot here then, and the second Mercedes, and Camaro is going up the inside. But Mr. Rage and Ball is going to have the exit. And look at the spray. It's absolutely impossible these conditions. 20 cars are driving superbly well. And on the inside, oh, not quite then, is Gordo. Runs wide, though. So does the Kick Sauber. Marsky, I believe that is as well. And Marsky's come on right in the frame of Vessia there. Gordo, I think the wet tyres are now starting to struggle. Are they overheating then? Is there not enough water on the circuit then? These Pirelli wet tyres are pretty rubbish then. Let's not beat around the bush. They are terrible. 10 positions there is far past a fantastic start. On board with Mr. Rage and no DRS, and this is about pure acceleration and top speed up the inside. And Mr. Rage is through. No, Gordo on the outside, wheel to wheel. They're rubbing me wheels out. Goodness me, rubbing his races, they say in touring cars. Wow, fantastic. But Mr. Rage will have the inside then. And coming into the final turn now, Gordo is lost 2 positions there and really struggling with the rear, isn't he, is Gordo at the moment. On board a camera race then, of course, normally in the thick end of the top 10. Sadly, down in 13th position at the moment is Camera. Gamer's had an issue, and Gamer has lost a couple of positions. Or has he? We're on board with Gamer. Oh, it's getting a bit robust in between Riley and Gamer. And he's forced him off the circuit there, as I feel that they must have just got together and got stuck together. Sadly, of course, that seems to be a feature on a lot of F1 games. Riley down to 7th position, Gamer down to 6th, and Jay Hinks is on the outside. Jay Hinks has got the momentum, but Riley has the inside line into Brooklands, and there he goes. Camaro and Gordo fighting for position as well, and now through goes Camaro. Gordo is dropping down like a stone. It's been a difficult season so far for both Ferraris, not just Gordo. Look at the spread, and of course we are looking down, so it's going to be easier than what the driver's going to see. Here comes Vessier. Vessier then over the Odo start-finish straight. Vessier's going to have a look. Is he into Cop's corner? Oh my goodness me. Gordon trying to hang it on the outside. I've got cramp in my left bum cheek, but what a manoeuvre there from Vassier, and up into 13th position he goes. Incredible stuff. I think that Gordo may have made the wrong choice on those wet tyres. It looked an inspired choice to begin with, but now Gordo is... Whoa, Vassier, I thought he was going to go off because Perez crashed out in the sprint event a few years ago when, I think, was it 20... I don't know, to be honest. 2021 then or something like that, wasn't it? I think I've added an extra 100 years onto that, but here's Marsky now. I think the Gordo is now starting to slip backwards, but of course, let's not judge this yet. The rain may get worse. Of course, the Pirelli wet tyres are not ideal. Irvine also down to 90 position, 15 seconds back. So Irvine's had a trip as well. We haven't seen that, and I haven't noticed it right up until recently, as it has been quite a action-packed start. Then on lap 5 out of 26 here, hopefully the action will abate in the not too distant future. Irvine in the pits there, and not ideal, unfortunately, for Irvine in the Ferrari R2B. And look at this, and there's more action here in the back then, and it's Marsky R2B, and that is Kian trying to recover, because Kian's had a horror show for starting. Remember, Kian is in the championship at this stage. If the race finished now, he would not be leading the championship, but of course, we've still got another 21 laps to go in this race. Irvine in the pits there. Let's see what tyres are going to go on then. So fresh tyres for Nigel, fresh intermediate tyres for Nigel, fresh intermediate tyres also for Irvine then. So the wet tyres are still not the option then for the drivers, so I have to pit early because of damage to their cars. I don't think the intermediate tyres are going to get to the end from here either. So I think that's basically condemned the Irvine and Nigel to 2 stoppers, unfortunately, tonight then. On board then, the rain is quite heavy. I'm surprised that a lot of drivers have not actually tried the wet tyres, because look at that, the rain is coming down in steroids here. My word then, I think that if it is raining like that outside, I'll be using it right now to take advantage and have a shower, because these water rates these days are absolutely crazy. My word there. Indigo, I'll race on your account tomorrow short if you want. Absolutely, yes, please. To be honest, Serious Mushroom had my account last week. Of course, that's a joke, by the way. If I ever did that, I probably wouldn't be allowed to race ever again in ALR, and I'll probably be in jail as well, of course. Maybe not in jail, though, but of course, Daniel App did that, didn't he? And unfortunately, got found out, didn't he? Unfortunately got found out. I don't know, to be honest. As Gordo has now lost another position. He's tumbling down the order. Kian now in the 14th position there. Gordo, the wet tyres are not working at all, sadly. The clowns before the race told me wets are 8 seconds quicker than when we started. Tells me into the fast, a great start. So that's why Gordo is on the wet tyres, because the Ferrari strategical masterclass is once again reared its head, and the Ferrari mechanics there has decided to put wet tyres on Gordo, and Gordo thought that when Gordo didn't want that, and you can see that now there's a bit of a drying line starting to develop then, and that's not what Gordo wants to see. He wanted to get heavier, and sadly that's not the case at the moment there. So it's not looking ideal then for Gordo. You see that the that's the darker part of the tarmac then, that is where it's getting drier. The Duke has been homed in then. He is now down to under a second, or just over a second, on board of R2P. Gamer's got a 3-second penalty. That is the first driver with a penalty of the night there. Stick with Soupy Thing, might pay off, says Serious Motion there. Poor Kiki there, I've got it out the way, says Serious Motion. But Kiki currently in fourth position and nowhere near out of this one just at the moment. Then Kiki's teammate, sadly, Nigel, right down in the back of the pack at the moment. They're 9 seconds adrift to verified as both drivers have had issues so far. That crash reminds you of the 2014 Kimi Räikkönen where he went off there. Yeah, that was a horror show crash as well. Of course, the British Grand Prix was delayed for was it an hour or two? It was delayed for. And now on the outside goes Marsky. Gordo is gone in a bit too deep. Then Marsky's going to go up and under. He should have more traction. Gordo's not going to give up, but he hasn't got the tools for the job. And Marsky is now up into 15th position there, and Gordo's going to lose another position. It's a double whammy for the Ferrari. The Ferraris are tumbling down the order now. The wet tyres are not the way to go, unfortunately. What about Johnny Herbert snapping his legs there as well? Says Serious Mushroom. I don't think my comments are working on it. I think that Serious Mushroom, not Serious Mushroom, goodness me. Johnny Herbert hurt his legs in Brands Hatch, maybe back in 1989 or 88. Goodness me. What could have been for Johnny Herbert? He's one of the best biscuits. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I'm just, I need food, don't I? One of the biggest what-if stories in Grand Prix is Johnny Herbert then, of course, racing with his legs barely hanging on there. Absolutely fantastic. He got a Grand Prix career out of there. Anyway, then, of course, very unlucky with the Lotus team because he joined the Lotus team at the worst time there where Lotus was kind of on a downfall in their history, sadly, there. Albeit then they did have a couple of good results, didn't they, in the late 80s, early 90s, but of course losing the Camel sponsorship, I think, was the final straw for the Lotus team. Go Kian go, says Dark Martianet, as just watching Kian down in 14th position right now. Just watching Gamer, who is currently in 6th position there. Flippy up into 5th right now. All on the back of Kiki, who's starting to fall adrift. Fester down with the 12th, and both Williams drivers, who was on the back row of the grid, it's now 10th and 12th. I reckon that they both must have Nameless set the fast out the race. Nameless is flying, so it's Flippy as well. Oh gosh! I thought it was still my bad, so much. To be honest, she was in the right country, so that's all that matters, to be honest, isn't it? Goodness me. But yes, indeed. To be honest, though, where, oh dear, as Kiki's back end is slipping and sliding there. Lucky McLaren. It is a very similar part of the circuit, isn't it? This went straight where Johnny Herbert broke his legs. And I don't know what the straight is. Sadly, Brands Hatch. I'm not very familiar with Brands Hatch because when their film race there is a bit before my time, isn't it? Did Nigel Mansell win his first ever Grand Prix in Brands Hatch? Wasn't it like the European Grand Prix in 1985 or something like that? That Alpine was not, I think it was the RB actually, was not turning very well at all, was it? The other RB is looking quite happy at the moment to lead this race. Now I say happy. Whoa, my word there! And good job Delando is wearing black overalls because I think he might have had to change those pair if, as that Flippy's through, he's past Kiki. No DRS overtakes tonight, then it's going to be a bit more of a traditional Grand Prix, isn't it? If you like pre-DRS F1, then tonight is the night then. I'm sure that was a song, wasn't it? By wasn't it Air Fire and something like that? As Reflections there is got fire full over this gearbox. Both Williams drivers, I was just saying, doing such a good job at the moment. They're doing a great job out there. Back row of the grid then, row 10. Both are now 10th and 12th position there. They came together in qualifying, but now have turned it around then, and they're both, one's in 10th position, made that 9th now, Farf is through, contact between the two cars. Oh, and now we got more contact with Mr. Rage and Reflections there. Farf over to 9th position there. Farf is on the mission tonight there, and Vessier is not too far behind his teammate either. But I think that James Battles will probably want his drivers to be a bit further apart than that, because they always seem to come to blows, don't they? As look at that then, as Kiki is losing time now. Well, I'm wondering what's going on with Kiki. Is the intermediate tyres gone already there for Kiki? As Gamer there is gone to find a bit more water on the circuit there, so the intermediate tyres may be starting to overheat ever so slightly here. Oh, I swallowed my tongue. But Kiki at the moment, as if he comes in the pits now, he's going to have the same issue there, because we're not even at half distance yet. He will have the undercut. Is the undercut powerful with those with the intermediate tyres on? Potentially. I do not know, to be honest there, but that's the beauty about having me in the commentary box, is because I don't know my rear from the elbow. which makes it very exciting indeed. Irvine's got the fastest of the race then. Gordo is now dropped down into 18th position, sadly, so the wet tyres are certainly not the way to go, and I think the Gordo might be a goal hanging as such out there, and probably trying to wait for a safety car, VRC or something like that, to get him on the right tyres there. But in the end of the world for Gordo down in 18th position there, in these conditions there, anything can happen there. Here's Kiki on the outside of Gamer, but Gamer has gone in too deep. Kiki up and under there, beautiful, sweet of that there. Kiki is now up in 5th position. Now we're going to have an eye on the top 4. Here they are. The Duke, Nameless, Delando and Flippy. Of course, Duke and Flippy there, very new to the Grand Prix scene in Silver, and goodness me, they are major thorns to the side of the championship protagonists, and I feel that both drivers are going to be major players, I think, in this one. Kian, the championship leader, of course, another man in the puzzle, has set the fast up, and Kiki and Gamer once again, goodness gracious me, it's an all-out war between the two drivers. Gamer up the inside, Kiki's going to, oh my goodness me, getting very close there as the slipstream is starting to begin here, and I'm wondering then if anyone's going to roll the dice and come to the pits early. Gordo has, but he's on the wrong tyres, of course, and now he's going to be on the intermediate tyres, and Gordo is kind of get to the end of the race from here, potentially. Of course, this is why, a bit of a kiss from Gamer then, as he's through and up into 5th position there. Kiki down to 6th position. Excuse me, someone with a large exhaust has just drove past me, and they've also got a problem with their exhaust as well. It seems to be popping a bit there. Goodness me. Jay Hings in 7th position there. Riley in 8th position. There's Farf. Farf is flying, isn't he? I remember a race where Farf was in Silver, where he was absolutely superb, and I think he lost this race on 3-second penalties there. And again, it was similar conditions to this, where it was raining throughout the race, and Farfam came out just a bit short. And once again here tonight, driving superbly well is our Farf. And of course, that bath has done him wonders, isn't it? Goodness me. Maybe it's the secret waters. And look at that. I think the Kiki almost lost it, and Riley and Jay Hings there had to back off, and now has allowed Riley through and into 7th position there. Oh my goodness me. Duke's now at the fast half of the race. I wonder if Duke is just trying to get some harvesting going then. So at the moment, we've got 3 drivers right to the back of the field, and they have pitted there. Damage for Nigel on the opening lap there. Irvine potentially damaged as well. Gordo on the wrong tyres there, thanks to Ferrari's master plan. Not going well for Gordo, sadly, in 18th position. And Kiki is struggling, and I think that Kiki would be loving. We cannot wait to get rid of these tyres, because he's just very much driving a shopping trolley out there at the moment. All the wheels seem to be steering him there, and now more inches for Kiki. Then Kiki's going to go defensive here. Of course, no DRS in these wet weather conditions, so that's going to help Kiki ever so slightly. Riley up the inside there, but of course, Brooklands not much of a tight corner, isn't there? It opens on the exit there, so Kiki was able to keep its position there. But if Riley keeps it neat and tidy, he might have a sniff going down into Cop's corner then. But again, Cop's corner is not very much of a braking zone, is it? Oh my word, then there's Gamer then, and now starting to pull away from Kiki. The gap is a second there. Of course, no DRS then. I keep saying it. Then there's Riley there. Unfortunately, we caught him red-handed, or blue-handed as he's in the Alpine tonight there. But sadly for Riley, has got a 3-second penalty, and that's going to be added to the end of his race time then. Of course, 5 seconds and 10-second penalties can be served in the pit lane, but the 3-second penalties cannot. So that will be added to the end of his race time, along with Gamer and Camera Racer also getting penalties at this stage as well. But only 3 drivers getting penalties in this one. It's very impressive indeed then. Gamer's the first to blink. Farf has got a penalty as well, and of course it is feeling like the race for a couple of years ago, isn't it? Farf is flying out there. He is the quickest man on circuit, bar a couple of runners. Oh no! And what's happened? And the Camera Racer has got a major penalty because he's gone right to the back of Vessier and has damaged his car. Of course, so a 10-second penalty there for Camera Racer, and unfortunately that's damage to the Mercedes. We did not see what happened there. Gamer then, of course, there's a long pit lane here. This one isn't there? So a lot of time is going to be added to your race time if you make more than one stop then. So Gamer coming out of the pits now, lap 12. So he's got to make those these intermediate tires go an extra 2 laps longer than the original, than the first stint there. And that could be crucial in this stage of the Grand Prix. We do not know what happened there, but unfortunately for Camaro Racing, he's got a 10-second penalty and that, and the wing damage as well. That might be curtains for Camaro here. And now we've got Flippy having a sniff vent as Riley has gone on the outside of Kiki. Kiki's tyres are completely gone by the looks of the McLaren. He cannot defend at all, unfortunately for Kiki, and now he's going to have to he's going to really have to struggle around then. I think, is Kiki going to pit now then and try and babysit those tyres to the end of the race? So it's going to be difficult then. But look at that dry line there, and you can see the drivers already going off and trying to find some cool parts of the circuit there to dry those intermediate tyres. And look at this Dukas now then. He's quite happy leading this race, isn't he? Why wouldn't you be happy leading this race? As of course, both Williams is now in the top 10. Remember, both Williams were 19th and 20th on the grid. They're now 8th and 10th, and both Williams drivers as Dukas in the pits. Also, who's out in the pits? Riley in the pits as well. There's the pit stops are being triggered now. The race leader's in the pits. Riley's in the pits as well, but he did not slow down enough. Right, he's a 10-second penalty, which will be added to the end of his race time, unless, of course, he pits again. Nameless now takes over the lead then. Camera Racer's got a double 10-second penalty, a 10-second penalty for collision with Vessia, and then a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. These drivers are staying up then. Of course, as Camera Racer has got issues coming into the pit lane. Where is he? I think he's had issues on coming into the. It looks like that the car has stopped in that Mercedes pit box, so issues for Camaro out of the Grand Prix, sadly for Camaro. But 2 10-second penalties. We did not see what happened there for Camaro. And unfortunately, on board now with Jay Hinks going into Brooklands. Nameless and Dylan are still at it, says Serious Russia. Absolutely, they're fighting. I think that this is going to be the story of the season. Kean, normally it's in there as well, but Kean struggling on the wet tyres, struggling in the wet, but also in qualifying as well. Kean wasn't up there either. So issues there with the championship leader so far. Flippy there just keeping a watching brief in third position. Kiki in fourth. Kiki is really struggling. He's lost about 5 seconds there to the top runners then. So Kiki then, his tyres are completely shot them. Jay Higgs all over the back of Kiki as well, and he may have a shot going down into Stowe Corner. There they are in the background. Jay Higgs is already alongside by the looks there of Kiki. Kiki did have a good run there by the looks there, so Jay Higgs going back in the slipstream now. Now he's going to go on the inside. Kiki gives him a car's with as Jay Higgs brushes as Delando as into the pits there comes Delando. Nameless has stayed out. Nameless has stayed out then, and these drivers have stayed out as well then at this stage of this Grand Prix then. So Mr. Race having to 6th position there. Goodness gracious me. Go Duke, go RB, says Mayran then. As Kian's got a 10-second penalty, the championship leader. It's going from bad to worse for Kian today. Oh dear, that's not ideal at all. Half distance. Well, I missed a lap, but we're half distance nonetheless then. So where is Delando going to come out of the pits? There is Delando. Who was that flash pass? And the gamer setting fast as upset as Kaidal is through. Delando, the Duke is already through. There's the Duke. So the Duke is through. And now here comes Delando in second position. Gamer's over the third. He passes Flippy. Of course, that is the undercut there by 2 laps. And he's through and into 12th position. I think that's the case anyway. Look at that dry line appearing now. We're going to see dry tyres at the end of this race. Potentially, remember, the best race that I've ever commentated on was the British Grand Prix then, where it dried out towards the end there, and some drivers stayed on inters, other drivers went on to slick tyres. It was an incredible end there, and it was so incredible I forgot who won the race. But I'm sure it's a battle between Jinner and I think it was actually Sick as Mug, but in that incredible race there, and I'm can't remember if it was silver or bronze, but it's an absolutely superlative Grand Prix, and potentially this one could shake up to be very similar as well. Reflections there currently in 6th position there. Reflections had pace all event, hasn't he, here tonight there, and of course these Mystery Grand Prix, and there's no practice in this one, so you've really got to very much there hit the ground running, and these drivers certainly have been, but especially it's twice as difficult on a wet track, on a track that is absolutely saturated by the great British weather around here. Whew. Goodness me. So all the 4 drivers that got penalties at the moment are 13, 14, 15 and 16 Festers in the pits now. Farf is also, as we're just taking a look back here at Gamer then, losing out sadly. Where's Farf? And the Farf watch then is out as currently in 14th position. Farf is, so I'd make that 15th for Farf. as Farf has lost a bit of time, actually. I'm not sure what's happened to Farf. Maybe he's made a mistake somewhere, but Farf was very much had the bit between his teeth there. Gap at the front is 7 seconds because Nameless hasn't pitted. Nor is Jay Higgs, nor is Kiki, nor is Mr. Rage, and nor is Reflections, R2B or Marsky. Are these drivers hanging out because they think it's going to dry up then? Goodness me. And that would really throw a curveball in this race, and then very much got to think on your toes. As we mentioned last night, some of these drivers have got to think about strategy as well. Well, all of these drivers have. They've got to think about the strategy as well as drive the cars, and it is a very difficult thing to do. Here comes Mr. Rage. Kiki has got no pace at all on these intermediate tyres. The intermediate tyres are absolutely shot for Kiki, but he's hanging with it then, is Kiki. Marsky gets past that R2B, going over the Odom start-finish straight. Now, Gora's got a 3-second penalty. It's not been ideal for the Ferrari drivers tonight. Now, R2B up in two, having to set position there, getting past, Marsky getting past R2B. And now here comes Duke, and Duke is going to have fresh tyres. Look at that, 12 lap for younger tyres, as R2B there is going to be passed, I think, before the hanger straight then, as Kiki has lost out to Mr. Rage. There goes Duke up into 7th position. Next target is now Marsky as well, as they go diagonally down the straight, as Kiki into the pits. Reflections also in the pits as well. Marsky is now in the 7th position. Duke is all over the gearbox here. Marsky is not defending too hard there, but I think the Duke will have lost his nose cone. But that's the problem though, because look who it is. It's Delando. Duke trying to get past his traffic there, and Delando is going to be licking his chops here, as Delando is all over the gearbox now of Duke. And then we've got Flippy as well, and Marsky, who is driving in the second kick Sauber. Is this going to be helping his teammate out? Marsky is like, oh my goodness me. So this is where team tactics come in now. Then this is going to get very interesting indeed. No way will it dry out completely, says Serious Russian. Top guys need to pit and react, says Serious Russian. My chat is not coming through live, so sorry about that if I'm missing it. I'll keep closing it and reopen it. Flippy then is all over the gearbox now. Delando, he's going for it. He's out at the Marsky has lost out then to Duke, and so is Delando. And Marsky, contact between the two cars. I could have been a puncture there for Delando, but luckily it's all fine. As I think the Marsky's going to just feather off the throttle, let his teammate go, and indeed he does. And now he's going to park it in front of Gamer there, but Gamer's got a lot of momentum here. Gamer's going to have a look. He's going for it. Goodness me. Wow. And Verstappen and Hamilton, that is how you do it. Oh my goodness me, it's a banging wheel. As Gamer didn't get past Marsky. Now Marsky, of course, runner up in bronze last season. It's not been a vintage season so far for Marsky this season, has it? But goodness me, there's still life in the young man yet then. As he is certainly fighting every nook and cranny, every tooth and nail then for this battle for 7th position. But Gamer now up in. No, he isn't there. As Marsky goes on the outside. And there's more contact there. And Gamer almost into the pits there. This is getting a bit robust here. Oh, sorry, I sniffed there and I shouldn't have done. Ooh, my word! This is, I must say, I'm quite impressed with Marsky there, fighting it out then on the very old intermediate tyres. 16 laps they've done on the intermediate tyres. Are they going to try and get to the end on these intermediate tyres? Surely that's not going to happen, is it? The gap is 17 seconds, give or take, between Duke and Nameless. Then with under 10 laps to go, at the inside, more contact. Marsky's going to have to get out of that one, as Gamer there has forced its way through that. Of course, Gamer getting a bit robust there, isn't he, as he has lost almost 2 seconds there. Delando and Duke is going wheel to wheel, and Duke has repelled the attack. Riley up into 8th position, gets past that Marsky as well. Goodness gracious me, gentlemen, give me a break then. That sniffle, Sean? Absolutely. I'm certainly going to be in bed tomorrow. No, of course, yes. I was saying about how much I was struggling with man flu the other day, and then my colleague from work that had pneumonia, she did that. And I don't think she's moaned as much as me, to be honest. But I'm a man, ain't I? Of course, man flu is much worse, isn't it? As we all know, as all us gentlemen know. Nameless leads the way by 7.5 seconds. Then we've got Mr. Rage and Jay Hings are 2nd and 3rd position. Duke is now in a 4th position. Delando is all over the gearbox of Duke. Duke has got a 9-second deficit between himself and Jay Hings. I reckon that the top 3 are trying to stay out here. I think the Marsky's doing the same thing. Here's Flippy. Goodness me, I thought he was going around that. Great car control. Delando fighting for Duke. Then the more they fight, the better it is for Nameless. 8 laps to go in this one. Oh, I'm going to have to sit down because I think that this is going to be an absolute corker going into the final stage of this Grand Prix. Across the line they come once again. Nameless leads. Second position is Mr. Rage. Jay Hings in third position. Duke is in fourth. He is the leader of the drivers that are coming in the pit. So with Delando in fifth, Flippy in sixth position, Gamer and Riley in seventh and eighth position, Marsky in ninth, and Farfus in tenth position. Farfus lost a lot of time on the second set of intermediate tyres, and Kian is flying now in 11th position, but sadly for Kian, he does have a 10-second penalty, I believe. Kiki in 12th position now. Kiki has pitted, and now he's dropped down into 13th position. Kiki has issues for the tyres there for Kiki, sadly. As Kiki, oh goodness me, I was just going, let's take a look at this battle because it's getting very interesting there, as Kiki has unfortunately been passed on the outside there. Vessier now up to 12th position there. Kiki dropping down to 13th, as sadly Kiki's got no pace at this stage of the race, has he? Of course, it's just such a shame then. I do think it's the wet weather that is really hurting Kiki at this stage of proceedings, which is such a shame then for Kiki, isn't it? Duke going wide then, and this is the battle for the potential of the de facto lead here. So the gap to the leader, then this is what we're looking at. The gap to the leader is 16.1 seconds. So we got that up at the moment there because, of course, these drivers here, these top three here, have pitted. The top three of Jay Hings and Mr. Rage. Oh, we'll take a look at that in a minute because Delando takes full position. Duke on the outside, contact, and both drivers make contact. Duke has gone off the road. Delando takes the lead. I know, and doesn't take the lead just yet, but it's in the fourth position now, flipping down into fifth. Duke is down into sixth position now. Oh, goodness me. Commenters, what do you make of that? Serious motion there down in the pit. Surely you can tell me your opinion on that one. Was that too much there for Delando, or did Duke, as Farfus got no penalty, or did Duke leave the door open there? Well, I'll let you be the judge of that because I'm sitting on the fence on that one, but I think that Duke is going to be feeling a bit unhappy about that. Lap 19 out of 26, these drivers have effectively got to make up a pit stop here. The gap then is, look at that, it's still 15.7 seconds. Lap 19 out of 26 there, as the top three drivers have not pitted then. Marsky's not pitted either. Kian is past Farf and moved himself into the top 10, but Farf in contact, and Farf has been forced off the road, and Kian is through and up into 10th position. Should Farf have stayed on the outside is my question, or should he have given up that position there potentially? But Farf is almost in contact with Kian, and there was contact with Kian as hitting the rear posterior. Kian, goodness gracious me, harsh but fair, says serious pressure. I'll go with that. And now look at this, and Farfus, oh my gosh, and Farfus back it now, and there's Vessier on the outside then. Goodness gracious me, what a manoeuvre. I don't think that manoeuvre came off there, but somehow Farfus got into 10th position. What an incredible series of corners there, and Kian down into 11th position there. Farfus suffered in 10th there, Vessier in 12th position. Farf backed off there. That is very good racecraft there from Farf. Yellow flag as Kiki's off the circuit there. Kiki's British Grand Prix is going from bad to worse. He's got no pace on the intermediate tyres there. That is very interesting there. My goodness me, that was an incredible battle between these few. Incredible 17. The race line is so tight, overtaking is so hard on the outside race line, says Mayran then. As of course, so two expert drivers there giving me their opinions. I love it. Keep your comments coming in then. Farf was bad, laugh out loud then. My goodness me, that was great though. I think that on that occasion in the battle into Stoke Corner though, Farf did a really good, that was a really good driving there from Farf, but used his racing IQ. Gordo back in the pit zone on the intermediate tyres there. So Gordo has done two stops here, whilst the drivers in front have not done any stops at all. The gap then is 6.7 seconds between Mr. Rage and Nameless and Jay Hings in front position. I don't think Mr. Rage has got a higher than 6th position in his career in silver so far, driving superbly well this season now. Delando is now 13.1 seconds back. Gordo set the fast out the race and go for that fastest lap bonus point. What has been a horror show from Ferrari here this evening, sadly. Coming out of and round 2, is it? Goodness me, it is going to be round 2. I think the fastest is too far by. But Gian is, and he's going for it. Farfan drifting into a Copse corner. My goodness gracious me. As Farf was flying in the first sector there, it just shows because Kian in the on the first set of intermediate times was struggling, but all of a sudden in the second set he's nowhere at the moment. Kiki is, and the points, both McLarens are not scoring. Marsky has been reeled in then. Gap in the front is down to 12.6 seconds. We've only got 5 laps to go. Goodness gracious me, anyone's going to be on the podium here. Tops, guys, God, stop, surely, says Serious Mischief. If they stop now, they're going to give up. As it reflects, another driver then it is dropped right off the pace, who's in the harder top 10. But they have, of course, paid a couple of laps later, haven't they? Kiki and Vesher. But my goodness me. And now Marsky has joined this party. And I don't think Marsky wants to join this party. Marsky, like the top drivers, the top 3 drivers, and trying to go to the end then. 5 laps to go. The gap is 12.1 seconds. That is a lot of time to make up in 5 laps there. Surely that can't be done then. Delando is almost onto the back of Jay Higgins there. It's the first of the top runners. So James has lost a lot of pace there because Mr. Rage is now about 3-4 seconds up the road there. So Delando might be up into a podium here. Here's Farfet pushing Marsky onto the back straight here of oh goodness me! The Wellington straight there now. Kean up the inside of Marsky's out of the point. Sadly, Vessier. Goodness, we got to have another round here. Kean is going to lose the lead in the World Championship. Sadly, as it's just not been Kean stayed in qualifying. It was dry in qualifying. But he wasn't in the I think he was 11th position in qualifying at the end there. And now in the race as well, just hasn't really made much progress, has he? The world champion, the championship lead, the world champion of bronze as well is Kian. Just struggling today with today's pace there. My goodness gracious me. Again though, the drivers, as Delando is through, he has passed Jay Higgs and has moved himself up into 3rd position there. So the gap does, and also Jay Higgs is dropping like a stone now. And it's down into 5th position, and here comes Kian, here comes Farf, here comes Bessie, here goodness gracious me. As Vesser's got no penalties at this stage then, whilst the 2 in front of him have got penalties then, so Vesser is sitting very happy at the moment in 11th position. Well, I'm not sure as happy as you can be, I'd say, because I've got to say it's getting very robust in this battle here. Marston's got no penalties either, so he's trying to hold on with just 4 laps to go in this race. The gap is down to 6.8 seconds between Nameless and Mr. Rage. The gap between Delando on fresh intermediate tires, Duke's past Jay Hings as well. When they get to the back of the drivers, they do drop down, don't they? Who's that off? That's Gamer off the circle, I think it is. As Gamer dropping down to 6th, 7th position now, and look at this, there's Duke that is trying to get past. Look at how much time they've lost. Look up in front there. That is Flippy and Delando fighting for 4th and 3rd position in the final podium spot at the moment there. Out to Brooklyn as we come again. Then driver of the day vote is out. Goodness me, who are you going to vote for that? My gosh, you got Farf, you got Nameless, you got Vessier, and on the outside then Jay Higgs might have to yield this one. He does yield that one, and through and up to 5th position goes Duke then. Oh my goodness me, and Gamer there is off the circuit, and Gamer's off the circuit in the polystyrene, had to take a face of action there. Oh my goodness gracious me then, as Jay Higgs is struggling on these tyres now, as this is getting very robust out there. Golly gosh, and Gamer then once again then, he is pushing the Red Bull, and down he comes down the hanger straight once again then, wheel to wheel, and Jay Higgs there is going to have, is he going to have to yield? I keep saying he's going to have to yield there, but Jay Higgs there is doing an absolutely fantastic job there, but sadly Jay Higgs is off the circuit, and now he's lost out to Riley as well. My goodness gracious me. Lap 23 out of 26 here. Delando has got some free air now. So has Flippy as well. Duke has lost about 3 seconds there. The Duke has. And now he's got Gamer, who is also flying as well. Of course, a reserve teammate here tonight is Duke then. In reserving for Mayranov, who's not racing here tonight, sadly. Farf has still got more grief. And I must say that the Farf has been the heart of the action here tonight. Oh my word. It's going into turn 1. And now Vessier is going to. Oh my word. There's Vessier clattering the back of that Red Bull. As we got one of the McLarens there getting lapped then, as unfortunately it's been a tough old race this one as for Nigel there. Hats off to Nigel and everybody for sticking with it, and same with Gordo as well, as of course Ferrari gave the Gordo the wrong strategy as well. So a tough day for the Ferrari team as Kian tried to defend on the inside there into Brooklands. So Vesher tried to go on the outside, but that has not helped at all then, as we're on lap 23 out of 26 then. Gap is down to 7.3 seconds there. It's coming down quite quickly now. now. Marsky is trying to defend now from Reflections, and he's going to go on the outside there, but Marsky is going to run him out of rope. No, he doesn't there. That's very gentlemanly there from Marsky, as making him, as Reflections go on the outside there, and Kiki's also going to have a go for it as well. Flippy's past, Flippy is past Delando, and up into purplish, or is it? No, because here comes Delando, comes back at it, then going into Stone Corner. Fantastic stuff, absolutely incredible, but here comes Delando. Where are they? There they are, as into the follicle, of course. Well, who's out the circuit? That's the Duke, who's gone off in the back, running down into 7th position. As now Delando is back into 4th position there. He's going to go back up into 3rd. Not quite then. My goodness gracious me, the gap in yellow flag. What's happened? It's Vessier. It's Vessier off the circle. It's Stowe. And who's that then? He's gone wide there. I thought someone else was well off the circle there. That's Kiki. Reflections also finding 4th position as well. What an incredible race there. Absolutely incredible. Reflections, I cannot defend that. Kiki steaming through and up to 12th position there. Vessier may have lost a lot of time there. Gamer's off the circuit. Oh, goodness me. And we didn't see that, but Gamer losing positions, unfortunately. Flippy is now on the back then. 3 laps to go. Nameless has stayed out. Mr. Rage has stayed out. And who else stayed out there? I can't remember who else stayed out there. It was Riley, wasn't it? No, it wasn't Riley. It was Jay Hings there. More yellow flags there as it's getting a bit, as Marsky is fighting there. Also, Kiki's off the circuit there. Kiki is off the circuit as well. Oh, my goodness gracious me. What incredible race this is. I'm sweating profusely in here, and I'm not even driving. This is incredible. Absolutely incredible stuff indeed then. As Mr. Rage has lost that, and Flippy going for his first ever Grand Prix win of his silver career. Contact in. Oh, no! And Mr. Rage, who has been tippy-toeing that around with no pit stops. And unfortunately, Flippy and Mr. Rage have come together, and he's down into 6th position. Oh dear, oh dear. That's not ideal. The 2 Ferraris are dueling it out then for the fast lap. Lap 24 out of 26. Oh my goodness, they're very much in them. They're very much inside now. Here is Nameless, who is not pinned yet. Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh gosh, I don't think I can look. Lap 25 out of 26. There they are on the Hamilton Straight. And they can see their target. The Nameless has stayed out. Delando and Flippy came into the pits. What has happened here? Marsky and R2B also 5th position. Marsky trying to hang it out there, isn't he? But at the moment though, sadly for Marsky, I think he's not going to be able to fight it any further. Then is he? Keaton have finally cut him down in that absolutely epic battle for that 9th and 10th position. Wasn't that a 1990 song, Wheel to Wheel? I know that there's some wheels on the bus, isn't it? Go round and round, of course. Oh, and Delando, I thought it was around there. But the gap is down to 3.4 seconds. 3.4 seconds. Gamer's got past Jay Hinks. Jay Hinks' tyres have fallen off the cliff, sadly. I don't even know there was a cliff in the rain. But my goodness gracious me, that as Jay Hinks has dropped down to 8th position. He still might be able to elevate himself up a few positions there. Gap is down to 3 seconds. This is going to be last lap shenanigans, I think. Oh my gosh there. And my goodness me, Nameless, of course, got 50% of the vote so far. 33% for Mr. Ranger Paul. Far from 17. Vestia hasn't got a vote just yet, which is very harsh indeed. I would have voted for Vestia. Down the hang. Oh my gosh. Look at this end. We just got 1.5 laps to go. Has Nameless jumped this to perfection? And Nameless is aiming for his 3rd Grand Prix win of the season. Flippy is aiming for his 1st ever Grand Prix win of his career in ALR. Golly gosh. Hey Marsky, leave my pimp alone, and says serious motion. That goodness me, as it is getting very fraught out there. It's R2B. Then is the pimp. He's in 12th position and then has an outside opportunity of getting some points. Nameless lost almost 3 seconds on that lap. Then on board, Flippy's got him. Surely, says Luke. Then back on board now with Flippy. Then going for his 1st ever Grand Prix win. Riley's got a 3-second penalty. That adds to 16 seconds now for Riley. Duke is back into 4th position. On board now with Flippy. 5/10 of a second. It's less than a second now. Here comes Flippy. No DRS of course then. And he's going to have so much more braking stability going into Brooklands. As Nameless is still in front of the moment. Flippy cannot dilly-dally around here. And he might go for it. He's going for it over and under. And Flippy takes the lead on the final lap of the British Grand Prix. With just 1 lap to go. Less than half a lap to go. Nameless just fell a bit short. Then Flippy with just half a lap that is about to win his first Grand Prix of his career. Coming out of Copse Corner, can Nameless limp home to finish in a superb second position. Wow, incredible stuff indeed. Flippy then, who has never won a Grand Prix in his career. He's had 2 pole positions, has Flippy, but has never won a race, and he is on course to win this, his first race in the most dramatic of circumstances. Down the hanger straight then, and coming into the final couple of corners now. What an absolute epic British Grand Prix. As the rain is easing off here, we can definitely see a dry line forming. Here's Flippy into the final couple of corners now. We've got a yellow flag then on the old start finish straight out of the final turn then, and Flippy is going to win his first career win. Flippy wins the British Grand Prix. Nameless and Delando finishing neck and neck then for 84 hundredths of a second. And what an incredible race, and what Nameless was 1 lap short of pulling off an absolutely outstanding end of a race. Farf makes his way up to 8th position, and then Gamer also makes his way up to 7th position. But today's day is Flippy's day. What a try from Nameless though. GG, also Serious Motion. Flippy that's his first ever Grand Prix win of his career, and the first of many, I feel. Then Flippy wins the British Grand Prix in absolute epic circumstances. What a Grand Prix, and absolutely incredible stuff indeed. And I've earned my Weetabix tonight. Fantastic. Nameless 8400 second, and actually because of that, let me take a look at the standings, and because of that there, for Nameless actually will take the lead in the driver standings. Delando will go up into second position. Kiki gets the fastest lap then, and Kiki then just fell off a cliff, didn't he? The same with Reflections as well, and both in the heart of the top 10, but issues there right at the end there. Ferrari 17th and 18th position there. Nigel, hats off to Nigel for finishing in at 19th position there, as he was waiting for a safety car along with Irvine and possibly Gordo as well, but sadly that wasn't the case, was it, in the end there? Slippery Tuna, what did I miss? Evening, an absolute stonker then. The sooner the new season comes, the better, says Gordo, as Gordo has not had a very happy home Grand Prix, sadly. As it was not good at all. Ferrari decided to give him the wrong tyres as well. Flippy, first win of his career. First win of many, I am sure of it. Look at that then. The beautiful trophy and the winner of the British Grand Prix here tonight in the Mystery Grand Prix as well. Absolute doozy of one there. Nameless takes the lead in the Drivers' Championship, if I've got my maths right, which is very uncertain there. And Delando moves up to second as well then, but 8400 of a second there separates Delando and Nameless. Just think that result could come down to the final stage of this championship. 16 rounds this season. We're over half distance now. Final classification then, I've got 30 seconds. Flippy first with his career, Nameless second, Delano in third, Duke recovered to finish fourth there, Mr. Rage in fifth position, Jay Hings in sixth, Gamer 7, Vester in eighth, and Farf in ninth. Great drive from both Williams drivers, fantastic. Riley down in 10th position, championship leader Kia not scoring, R2B in 12, Kai down in 13th, Reflections, Marski 14 and 15, Kiki Horror Show in 16th, but gets fast as that. Gordo and Irvine Horror Show as well, both Ferrari 17th and 18th, Nigel in 19th, only run retirement camera racer earlier on in this Grand Prix. Unfortunately for Camera Racer. What an incredible race that was then. Is that the race of the season so far? Potentially. Anyway, however, nonetheless then. Rig driver of the day, says Mr. Rage then. As Nameless got driver of the day then, but I do think that Mr. Rage does have a point then. He certainly does indeed. Luckily, I do not do driver of the day, as we've all seen from my history. Right, let me get up the interview, shall we? Because I think that we've got going to have a very joyous couple of drivers then in the box as well. Then I'm not sure if I've done my sound or not really, so this is going to be interesting. Let's come to Flippy, your first ever Grand Prix win, and my goodness me, you decided to do it in such fine fashion. There, what an incredible race that was today. But firstly, how are you feeling? I'm sure your adrenaline must be pumping.
First of all, I want to apologize to Delano for the quality incident. I didn't see the Alpine coming, and I just blocked his hot lap, I think. So I apologize for that. But yeah, the win, I'll take it, of course. And it was tough qualifying. I didn't even get last lap in because of the incident, which was my fault of the Alpine. And yeah, because I slapped on a into Seb at the start. So I guess that's what really helped the race pace at the end. And yeah, I took the win, of course, in such a not traditional way to win as well. So I would take it like definitely.
Well, not traditional, but absolutely superb stuff indeed. Then, yeah, that incident in qualifying, sadly we caught on the stream as well. It was a bit red-handed. But yeah, you did apologise for that. Was it just was you just preparing your car? Was you, and then unfortunately you got caught at the wrong time there by Delando?
Yeah, I checked the mini map on the was it Hangar Straight, and I think it was like quite far back. Maybe I was lagging or something. The Alpine just kind of popped up when I was in the last chicane, like prepping up for my lap, just like taking breaths and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely my fault. So yeah, I have no excuse for that. It's not wrong place at the wrong time. It's just my fault.
However, let's get on to the positive, shall we? Because what an incredible race that was there. And you decided to overtake on the last lap as well. Was there any stretch of the race where you was thinking this ain't going to work? Because I thought with about, I think 5 laps to go, you was 10 seconds back. I thought that was too much then. But what an incredible 5 laps then. Did you ever think, though, that it was a stretch too far?
Until the last three laps after overtaking Delano, I was thinking like the win was impossible or even a podium. Maybe like because we wouldn't catch up at that rate. Maybe the tire drop from the Aston at the front was really bad at the end. I think that's what really helped the catching up to the car, the lead. And yeah, because I just followed the Alpine in when we box, and I was thinking when we box, I would just settle for P2 or even a P3. So yeah.
And my goodness me, was there ever a thought though of you maybe not coming to the pits at all then and doing what Nameless did and what a few others did? Was that ever a thing across your mind then, of course, or was you just like, no, this is a one stop surely?
At the start, before the start, I saw the MFD suggesting a no-stop strategy, but like for the whole race, I was just thinking that I need to boxes. Generally, my tire wear is quite high around into circuits because I tend to like flick my wheel into the corner, so that is the main cause of the high tire wear. But yeah, it was just one stop for the whole race. I didn't think of no stop at all.
And this is the first win. I've said in the commentary, it's the first win of many as well. And now you've got this win, then potentially breaking through the glass ceiling. Potentially, of course, Hamilton got his first win, and went on to win a second one. Do you think that that's going to be the same for you, going for winning the Belgian Grand Prix next week?
Spa's usually a chaotic track, and I haven't raced in Spa in ages, to be fair. I don't know. Just always treat every Grand Prix going into the week just not having that much high hopes. So then if I crash or something, I won't be disappointed. But yeah, I guess we shall see next week, and if I can keep my form up or not.
What a win today, Flippy. Fantastic stuff. Well, incredible race there to win your first Grand Prix of your career. Fantastic. Nameless. I think you're the new leader in the championship there, but which is the positive. But you was half a lap away from pulling off an audacious strategy. Where did that come from? No stopping today.
I was surprised that I think we were only three people that tried that strategy, but the game suggested it, and I thought, why not go for it? I think it was even 5 seconds a lap, 5 seconds quicker than the one stop. So I thought, why not just try it? I didn't practice much, and this was my first proper race in the rain on this game. So I just had to try something because, especially in the first stint, I felt like everyone around me was quicker, and I had to defend quite a lot from Lano behind me. So when I saw Duke pit, I knew I was gonna do the no stop.
And my goodness me, just half a lap away. This is your first time in the rain. And do you feel that if you look back on the race, was there a moment then where potentially you could have had that half a lap improvement, maybe a couple of tenths here and there, or is it too difficult to judge at the moment?
Ooh, I don't know. I think I had a little few moments, but I didn't have a big mistake or a big lap where I lost more than a second. I thought I had it up until lap 21, especially when I think there was still two cars between us, and I was hoping for them to hold them up. And yeah, I really thought I had it, but in the last 5 laps, my tires just died, and I knew they were gonna get me, or at least one of them. And I knew also that Flippy was the quickest out of all of us because he was pushing quite a lot in the first. And so when I saw that he overtook Delano, I got quite worried, to be honest. But I take a P2, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the next race already.
Incredible stuff indeed. Then, of course, and now you're leading the championship again. It's so tight between yourself, Delando, and Kian. Now, Kian had a bit of a bad race then today. And do you feel that the momentum's with you and Delando, or can you not count out Kian and potentially even Flippy and potentially Duke as well? Because those two drivers are also pretty quick as well.
Yeah, I mean, how the season has gone, you can't. You, I think there's no one knows how it will go because I think in the last 4 races the championship lead has changed every time, and so no one knows. I just go race by race, try to outscore everyone around me, and maximize the points.
Really good stuff today. Well done, Nameless. What a drive and taking the lead in the championship. Fantastic. And Delando for a position today. And my goodness me, of course, the battle between you and Flippy ended up to be the battle for the Grand Prix win then. And of course, same question that I'm going to ask, that I asked Flippy to you. Do you feel that a no-stop strategy could have helped you win this Grand Prix today?
It was a consideration, to be fair, like what you call it. Me and my engineer was chit-chatting away, like with feel the undercut. The issue is that someone will do a no stop, like possibility. That's the issue. Then a couple of laps later, like it was my just noticed my tire date is too high, so it would not take a chance. Had to go into the pits for that very reason.
And you was just 84 hundredths of a second away from getting Nameless over the line then. To be honest, out of 26 laps, it's probably quite easy to think where you could have probably got second position there. But towards the end of the race, I said to Flippy that 10 laps to go, I didn't think he was going to get Nameless, but Nameless seemed to fall off the cliff with the final 5 laps to go then. Was you concerned that you wasn't going to be able to get in the fight then for the Grand Prix win? Because at the time, you was leading that trio of cars.
It's what you call it, one of those, like what you call it. It's pretty much worried that if he hold up the tires very, very well, but it's like notice there are like good few laps to go that the tires started to drop off massively. That's how me and Flippy able to catch it, but it's like one few mistakes I made. It's like what you call cost me that pretty much a P2 at the moment, or potentially a race win.
Yeah, because potentially looking back on it, that overtake that Flippy did on you a couple laps to go potentially did lose the Grand Prix today. Of course, it was absolutely appalling conditions out there today. How tricky was it to keep it on track then? Because it seemed to be intermediate conditions according to the game, but it looked a lot heavier at the beginning of the race then. How difficult was it to keep on circuit with those intermediate tyres?
It's like what you call it, tiptoeing the wave. To be quite frankly, like on the first few laps, then when it what you call it, lighten up, is like get up to speed very well. So yeah, it's like very, very tricky conditions, to be fair.
And of course, I think you're now second in the championship as well. Nameless is taking the lead. Kian's had a bit of an off day as we go into Spa in the next race. Goodness me, I think it's only like 5 races to go now. It's starting to become a bit of a crunch time. It doesn't feel like we're too far in the championship, but it's crunch time now. Do you feel the pressure starting to really mount on you guys?
It's kind of like the business end already, to be quite frankly, because like we're pretty much just past the halfway mark of the season, to be fair. So it's like what you call it. Hopefully, get another win under the belt. Try to keep up in the title fight, but it's like at the same time, it's like not sure. Let's try to get the podium on the board, but in Spa, it kind of like one hit and miss tracks for me. To be quite frankly, it's one of them tracks like is going great, and the other is times it's like, nope, not going to work out.
Sounds like me on a daily basis. Well done today, Lando. Brilliant job to get your fifth podium of your season. Then Nameless getting his sixth podium of his season, and the Flippy getting his first ever Grand Prix win in incredible circumstances in what has been an absolutely wet Silverstone. Tomorrow night we got another mystery Grand Prix in Bronze. Then I cannot wait. I'm going to be honest, I got a sniffle, so I might not be in tomorrow. But of course we'll be giving it a good old go. I'm back in Delando for the championship. Says Slippery Mushroom. Absolutely, Delando, a former bronze champion there. That might be the advantage in the final couple of races then. Of course, round 10 is next week in Spa, the greatest race circuit in the world, in my opinion. Tomorrow night, it is more mystery action then with bronze and round 9 of the World Championship. See you all then. Goodbye.